Oh my gosh, Steph Infection listeners, this is a big episode. I'm officially part of All Things Comedy. I'm officially recording from a studio, not in my own house. I'm very excited. And my first guest in studio is the fucking incredible Adam Ray. I mean, goddamn, I've done your podcast a million times.
You're a fan favorite. You've done it twice, but you're already a fan favorite.
Am I?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. A lot of positive feedback.
It was a very, honest to God, for YouTube comments, very positive.
Oh, yeah. Also, what's great about podcasting and just doing what we do is like getting to hang with people that you may not have a lot of offstage hang time with yet, and the pod can kind of speed that up.
Yeah.
If you guys are both down to play, but I think you and I could both tell like right away that we were like living in the same brain, more or less.
We have very good banter and we have very similar.
Yes, and we like each other and respect each other.
Yes, and you're a nice, safe man, and you're getting married to a nice, beautiful woman.
Yes, that I know of.
Yes,
and the honeymoon could be a big surprise. Hey, you don't have a problem with that or these, do you?
And then,
by the way, I've never done that and this for
like,
dick and balls.
I was like, what is that?
I could have just said dick and balls, but I go, and then a couple of.
And also, is it like a baseball term? You're watching too much fucking.
Oh, I know.
Also, if you haven't seen your fiance's genitals yet, that's on you.
That's on you.
That's a big problem.
That's a huge problem.
That's a big issue that you need to deal with.
There are communities of people that like to go, quite some time without making, sex a part of the.
Those are sick people.
Part of the routine.
Could you imagine not seeing, like, I'm sure it's the same. I need to see a penis pretty early on.
Sure.
Sometimes they spook me. Sometimes they're gross. Sometimes there's too many
Now, how early
veins.
are we talking?
I'm talking pretty early.
Before you even meet up in public.
I go, hello, and I go, actually, no, I'm just here to shake the penis. And I open
Wait, you go, hello, and you go, sorry, hold on one second. Hello?
Yeah. I get the cell phone light out. Let me just take a peek at that. Let me lift it up.
You know what? You wouldn't be wrong for operating that way. I feel like, get it out of the way. There is a lot of...
Because you can be attracted to one and you can be repulsed by one.
Now, is there a double standard? Could a guy do that to a gal?
Of course.
Gotcha.
I get worried that mine is a little much sometimes. I feel like for now on I should just wear crotchless panties and be like, how are you?
This is me, take it or leave it. It's almost like the way that some
take
couples...
it all or leave none of it. There's a lot there.
You know, some couples will like fart early on to be like,
this is it.
I went to college with a guy who was like, yeah, I do it. He's like, I try to do it right out of the way just to be like, this is who I am. If it's a problem, let me know. That can be that. And I'm like, cool, you sound like you're going to definitely corral somebody that's truly just going to be great. And, but maybe he will. Maybe there is somebody, when you get that out of the way early, maybe that is a great way to go, okay, now we don't have to worry about that. And the build up, can be a big letdown if it's not what you enjoy.
Exactly. And to the farting thing, I'm a gassy gal.
Yeah.
I farted in front of my new boyfriend.
What do you think? Congrats. He seems like a sweetie.
He's a sweet man. I farted very early on, and I had to warn him. I go, I fart a lot. And he's like, and then the other day I was like just hammering them out. He's like,
early or
okay.
late? It was like going to bed. Do you do it in like moments?
It's just all the time. It's just
like getting him out of the car seems fine, but like if it's
no,
like
I had
good
to
night,
shit in the
good
morning.
night.
I had some coffee, and I was like ready to come out. And he's like, just shit. I'm like, fair. I should just shit. This is what farting usually means. Is there's caca that wants to come out.
Yeah.
So I farted a bunch in front of him. He shit in front of me, and I held his penis while he peed. I've never done that before.
That's a new one. I've never heard
that. Is it a Mormon thing?
You're asking the right guy? A Mormon cock.
Well, ex-Mormon, but
ex-Mormon.
He was peeing.
You can leave Mormonism?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, he's done.
He's done.
Yeah, he's not going to be letting, I don't think he's going to let some Bulgarian psychopath hold his dick if he's still praying to the Lord every night. That's not how that works.
Joseph, is this okay? Is Joseph their God?
I don't know.
Or is God their God? Joseph is just the guy who made up the religion, I believe. Joe in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, right? Isn't that what Mormonism is based on?
Oh, is it? I saw that.
I think that's what Mormonism is.
I just thought it was a guy in a fun coat.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a guy who liked quilts and just was wearing one on his back.
With an extensive coat collection.
Oh, yeah.
And wanted to brag about it so much so that he wrote songs about it.
Yeah. And he went, I guess I also like the Lord, but check out my cool cloak. That's the whole story.
God is cool, but so are coats. I am Joe. Da-da-da.
I like when we don't know how to do songs, so we just go ba-da-da at the end of it because
it's a quick fix.
There's no actual song.
Okay, so you held the wiener and then...
He asked me, so he was peeing and I was in there getting ready, and he was peeing and he goes, you want to hold it? And I was like...
Wait, do you want to hold it like this was like a fun...
I don't know.
Like,
he just said, do you want to
like?
hold it? And I immediately said yes, because no one's ever... Look, I like to try everything once.
Well, let me ask you this, because my fiance has said many times, like, she goes, it looks so fun and easy just to stand and pee. I wish I could do that. It's such a production to, like, sit down and do all that. So is that why he offered? Did he see you in the mirror brushing his teeth? He was like, you want to see what it's like?
I don't think so. I just literally...
Come hold it. Pretend you're doing it. Pretend it's yours and you're peeing.
Not gonna lie, it was pretty fun because I was moving it around, I was shaking it a bit.
It's fun to play with, right?
It is fun. And it was like... a lot more like you can kind of feel the pee coming out almost. Maybe not. I just felt like you feel
no,
like
you can't. It's a problem if you can't.
You feel like you're really in control of it. Like with our urethra, sometimes it's like a fucking, it's like a sprinkler down there. It's like, it's
I
like
remember
going
what
all
I learned
directions.
that the urethra, and we were talking about this pre-show about, you know, just the urethra in general. I remember, I think it was 5th grade, like sex ed or whatever.
Were we talking about the urethra before the show?
Pre-show, yeah. Remember the secondary?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But you're going to save that for another program.
Yeah.
But
program. Coming up on the next program, second urethras.
But I remember in sex ed, like one of the first classes, it was just like condoms hadn't even been introduced yet, or like what to do with a boob. It was just like, which that by the way, definitely was not one of the curriculum classes. So boobs, here's what you can do. You can flick them, you can suck them, you can bite them. Don't squeeze them too hard.
But you can honk them lightly.
Just don't make noises, not too loud. Well, you can do it up until 2010, and things are going to change. But then they said that the urethra was where pee and ejaculate came out of. And I remember Evan Hatch laughing so hard at the word ejaculate that everybody else laughed.
And then you all pee and ejaculate at the same time, and then you're like looking at it, you're like, it is coming out of both.
That definitely became a question where it was like, hey, which one go, if you have to, who asked it? Somebody asked, like, if you have to ejaculate, which, by the way, a bold question at 10.
Yeah.
What are you concerned about that for yet?
Yeah.
Like,
how do you know what that is?
ejaculate is way down the line. Just let's focus on peeing without pulling your pants down in a public bathroom, Spencer Walsh.
I love
shout
the
out
full
Spencer.
name.
Yeah, I know. I give out the full names way too often, but you know.
I do too. I'm going to get arrested.
But so anyway, that class was just so.
So okay, let's for a second talk about this. I heard that it is the same. It is in the same hole. It's like the same hole, but there's two things in that hole.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
I would assume so. I don't think, but also I don't know.
Yeah, you're not staring at it while you're not opening the hole up.
I've definitely played with it like it's a little fish mouth at some points, but you know.
Hello.
That was that was back in the day.
Back in the day when you had no fiance to play with your pee hole
Totally.
as a fish.
Yeah.
Now you do. That's what you're gonna do in your honeymoon.
It's actually a stage show we're working on where it's
you're gonna fill up the tub,
ventriloquist.
dress up like a koi pond, and then get your little penis out and play with it.
That's how we role play.
Yeah. She plays Titan.
Have you already discussed that with your new boyfriend, role playing, or is that a way down the line thing? Have you done that?
I haven't, and here's my thing. I'm already always wearing a wig and a mustache. What am I going to do for role playing? Wear the same wig that I normally wear and be like, oh yeah, I don't have the mustache on. Like my go-to role play is, hey, what's going on? Like, I immediately turn into a man.
Be one of my TikTok characters.
Yeah. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Pretend to be, okay, so this was, he wanted to go for Halloween as, because I've never done a couple's costume. I'm very excited.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm very pumped
It's
up.
very cool.
He wanted to do Captain Hook because he has like a big swirly mustache.
Yeah.
And me as Tinkerbell. I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you know what I look like or sound like? What is this, Tinkerbell on fucking meth? What are you talking about?
That's kind of funny though. You walk around with a brown bag. I mean,
sprinkling just fairy dust, aka hello, how are we?
See, look at already funny. Yes,
we know we're gonna do something funnier. We're gonna do. He's gonna do Crack Fox. I'm gonna do Noel Fielding.
That sounds familiar.
The Mighty Boosh. It's a very
the Mighty Boosh.
Yes. Have you seen the Crack Fox sketch?
No.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Okay, I need to show it to you.
Okay.
It's literally hilarious.
The
it's
Mighty
like
Boosh.
They're like you'd like them.
Canadian sketch group?
No, they're the British.
British, yeah. That sounds really familiar.
Crack Fox, Mighty Boosh. So it's like it's
That's
very
nothing to do
bizarre.
with what does the fox say, does it?
No, God, no. It's like literally, he's going to dress up like that crazy, like actual,
that's
like, I don't know if you
incredible.
see this psychotic thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be Noel Fielding, and it looks exactly like me. It's same hair and.
So Noah Fielding is attached to the Mighty Boosh. This isn't
and
just like
that's him. So look at that.
Noah Fielding
That's
isn't
already
just
me.
like the inventor of the fidget spinner or something
No,
like that,
no,
right?
no, no,
Like
no.
a completely separate character. He's going to be this crazy character. I'm going to be the guy who made up a really cool thing to fill up your downtime with.
No, he's an actual man.
Noah Fielding created Mighty Boosh? Or
him and this other guy who I don't know his name, and I should. That's really horrible because I watch him all the time.
Great.
Anyways, Mighty Boosh, shout out to them if they're listening or not.
Couple character costumes.
But
Very
we're going to
fun.
go as that because he wasn't. Yeah, but back to the role playing. I feel like I just can't. What am I going to do? You meet at a bar. I also think that's for people who are like maybe needing to spice things up.
Trying to spice things up. Yeah.
I'm like, we're new.
You're just getting going. Things are very spicy.
Like, I'm already holding his wiener while he pees. I'm already.
Where do you go from there?
His dad actually heard.
You bringing the dad into the bedroom?
Well, his dad, he ate me out at his house. His dad was watching. Actually, they're from Seattle. They're watching the Seahawks.
His dad was in the other room watching the game?
Yeah. So we went in the other room. We closed the door. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, shh. And then he started eating me out. And then I just heard his dad go, oh, come on, that was a bad pass. I'm like, I don't think this is
the right sport. Bad pass at a baseball game?
No, what's the
hockey?
No, the football.
Things that you bring to a picnic.
One word, 3 syllables.
Football, yeah.
Yeah, football. What's the Seattle game?
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Oh,
Seahawks. Yes, yes.
Cool.
He's from Seattle.
I thought he was watching the Blue Jays game.
No.
Gotcha.
He's from Seattle, so his dad was watching the Seahawks.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
Well, so he is watching your team
great.
while he was.
Is that how his dad sounds?
And his dad,
his dad that's
was
a fun
voice
like
to do.
this.
Yeah, it's it's kind of like a dad voice.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what are you guys doing there? Come watch the game. And I'm like, he has a very high pitched voice, so I keep joking that I sound more manly than him. We're fucking.
So
it's like me, like, oh yeah, and he's like, oh yeah. He doesn't like that.
The
joke.
dad's like, who's who in there?
Yeah.
I couldn't
But the dad
tell.
and the brother did hear us, so I'm a little.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed.
That's always. I remember. I don't think. Well, we've definitely her folks. Her folks are now apart. Mine split early on, so we're gonna make it. But when I definitely think they had a little casita thing at their house, like a set where she lived in high school that was kind of attached to the house, just a little guest room. So that's what we would say. So I don't think we really had too many opportunities to be heard. But then sometimes. Be indoors. I think her mom heard us once. I heard my mom and stepdad when we were visiting my grandparents in Oklahoma, RIP, about 8 years ago. That was, I'll never unhear that.
No. You can't. That's cemented into your head.
Yeah. And I was like split where I was like, oh, I'm glad what was that for him? So for him, that was 68 maybe or 70.
68.
And my mom, 63. So I was like, get it in, good for them, right? I'm happy that they're happy and that he's making her happy. At least, I didn't hear both of them finish, so at least one of them was happy. But yeah, I don't know. That's something you never want to.
You never want to hear that.
I remember the first time I heard my dad and stepmom, because I would say their house was small and just a lot of room for sounds to be. Like they probably heard me just. Dipping Pop-Tarts in Cool Whip, and I heard them fucking,
Dipping Pop-Tarts in Cool Whip. Were you a fat kid?
Oh, yeah. Big kid.
Oh, yeah. Big boy.
Did that not give it away?
I think that
Does that sound like a healthy way to start the day, Steph? A little 7 a.m., pick me up, a little coffee, a little Pop-Tart, a little dip in Cool Whip, and then just stick your dick in the Cool Whip after.
And then see which hole it came out of afterwards.
Yeah.
Check the holes. Yeah. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ.
But the role-playing thing, some people go deep into it, and that is like big costumes, expensive sets.
That's the thing. I always think of the one episode of Modern Family when they go and they play 2 characters like hotel and they're I'm a divorce wife, whatever that is. I'm like, that I could do maybe something like that, like meet at a bar, pretend you're somebody else or something.
So crazy though. But then you're also,
But it's like, then I'm getting into characters that I'm like, I feel like us as actors, we need to do a good job. So then I'm going to get too into character.
So into it. And then also you go so into it, I would be a little insecure that then she's like, so into whoever that is. So
yes.
I'm like, is that what you want then? You want me to be some elevator, a door janitor fixer
guy? Is that what you would pick? I was like, that's what you'd pick.
I'd really get specific.
You'd also be dipping Pop-Tarts in
He'd have
Cool
a
Whip.
huge backstory. 8 kids from 4 different moms. No.
Yeah, you make him really depressed.
Yeah.
If I do a role play, I'm going to make it a very distinct character.
Yeah.
Very intricate. He's going to say
full
anything.
Prosthetics.
A lot of trigger.
To where he doesn't recognize you.
He has no idea who I am. I'm a burn victim. I have like no hair, and I'm just like, you wanted this.
And he doesn't realize it's you, but you do such a good job that you convince him to like. He's like, I'm actually supposed to be waiting here for like my girlfriend for a role play thing, but like.
I'm
down to bounce with you.
And then
you go to the room and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. See, there's too much.
Yeah, it's bad.
It worries me. This all worries me. No, I'm not doing that. Let's get to the segments.
Please.
So I got segments. So
the podcast is all called Steph Infection because
I have a staph infection, and I have for 5 years. No, I'm kidding. You got so
I'm so gullible.
You were like,
can we freeze frame and replay in slow mo my reaction to it? Steph telling me she has a staph infection.
Oh my god,
a staph infection. Now remind me. I know what it is, but the viewers.
It's like a skin infection where you get like staph, whatever that is, under your skin, and it's usually in like flakes or like
gotcha,
blisters, and kind of like it's itchy.
I think I've seen.
It's kind of like a psoriasis type thing, but I think it spreads a lot. Look, I've never had staph. It's a funny name.
How do you get it?
I think like from pools, like public stuff. It's almost like that kind of spreading. I also be making
public
all
juices.
Of this up.
I feel like contribute.
Did you ever swim as a kid, like in public pools?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was littered in plantar's warts. It was like my feet were disgusting.
Plantar's warts, not to be.
Oh yeah.
That was not on the shelf, by the way, at the grocery store. It wasn't cashews, peanuts, warts, although it should have been.
Plantar's warts. They were in like a little thing, like when you get the basil and they
missed opportunity, by the way.
Soil.
Why were they called plantar's warts?
Because they looked like plants. They'd go into the skin. It was disgusting.
Yeah, could you tell I was a fat kid? I was like, it sounds like a snack. Plantar's warts. There's some gummy bears.
You did that in fucking
Kool-Aid. Wait,
disgusting.
So the amount of public pool diseases, bumps, lumps, cuts, bruises.
The one something wild about pools that I feel like I haven't said this to a man. My dad brought it up when he did my podcast. He used to swim butt naked in middle school. Every boy was naked.
In his bathtub.
At school, grades 6, 7, and 8.
In the public pools.
In the public pool, Canada.
Would he just get in first, or would it be like full pool and then he just would...
All the kids. None of them
He'd
were
walk out confidently, fucking naked.
No, every kid had to take their clothes off, and the male teacher would still be clothed watching them swim. Isn't that bizarre?
Hello, 1975 Child Services. Yeah, I'd like to report what the fuck? Wait, they're
all naked. And my dad said it so nonchalantly that I was like, what are you talking about? Isn't this I want to hear a guy's perspective on this. It's very odd.
Immediately I'm like, and the teacher was clothed? But then it's like,
I was like, it'd be weird.
It'd be weirder if it was like, he was like, look kids, I know I shouldn't be the odd man out here, so if you don't mind, and don't judge, I got 2 pee holes.
Yeah, I know I'm not in the pool, but.
Wait, was it encouraged? Was it like
It was mandatory.
Health thing? That's even
And I was
weirder.
like, when did he said by the end of it, by I think grade 8, he ended up, they
caught onto it and said this is probably not appropriate.
But I'm like, if you were a dad and you had kids going to school, wouldn't you be like, I'm sorry, your pee-pee's out for everyone to see? Like, and also some kids clearly hadn't developed yet, so they're very self-conscious.
Kids are wrestling in the pool. Like, there's a lot of backlash going on.
They're jumping up and down. They're flippity-flopping. They're on their backstroke, little penis, just a little shark head, little.
Wait, what was the Jaws noise that you came up with?
Okay,
cool.
What is yours?
Is there
2?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's...
Well, there's that's the beginning of like when Josh is like when it's starting off. And then when he gets close, it's
Okay.
But by the way, I heard you do something totally different, so I was just like, have you not seen Jaws?
That was no.
You're like, Jaws is coming.
Jaws is different in Canada.
Yeah.
Every movie that they make has got a weird spin on it.
Has a different soundtrack.
Yeah, that'd be really
What was
funny.
the first movie?
Yeah, the Rocky. You're like, it's done. I'm like, no, for us, like, woo, party USA, and we're like, we have no idea what it is.
Running up some steps is.
I'm running and I'm tired, but I'm still running.
There's
We're both not very good at making up songs.
We're both terrible.
We're not Wayne Brady. I'll say that.
Not with that attitude. There's just a picture that Sylvester Stallone posted of him and Schwarzenegger carving pumpkins. And it was so adorable, so sad, because I just don't like to see, I don't want to say heroes, but they were definitely like film staples of my childhood. But seeing them just like, he's like, I was carving pumpkins, and Stone's like, yeah, I made one with 5 teeth. That they weren't saying that. It was just a still picture. But they both had the faces of guys that were saying both those things.
Yeah.
And not that action heroes can't carve pumpkins. There was just something very like, I'm almost 80. And Stone's like, and I might be 80. And they're like, and we're carving pumpkins together. And I just didn't want to see it. It was just like, I want to see you guys kicking ass, not fucking carving pumpkins, goddammit.
Also, you're Rocky. He's unwell.
He's had a rough go.
He's had a couple strokes.
He's getting in the cart to do his shopping.
Yeah, it's time for him to sit down. And
that cart's got motorized wheels.
Yeah, and that cart also is getting pushed by an employee that works there.
It could be.
And that employee is
I did that when I worked
Uber Eats and ordering his food for him. That's actually not. He's at no point in the grocery store. The segments.
Yeah, please.
What have you had? What body ailments have you had? Anything crazy?
I've had. I've had some warts here and there that I've had burned off with liquid nitrogen when I was a kid. That sucked.
Hand warts are pretty normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I broke my ankle, shattered it. I was pretty gnarly playing basketball. It sounded like I was. I'd sprained my ankle both. Thoroughly in high school, and then finally just came to a breaking point to where this was 2010, and I was playing on an outdoor court, and I was running one way and then turned my body back another way, and my ankle just rolled and snapped. It sounded like somebody stepped on a tree branch, like a big loud tree branch that snapped immediately. It hurt so bad, and then just started to swell up, and the swelling wouldn't stop to where I was convinced that because it was swelling so quickly and so fast, I was like, it's going to pop.
It's going to open
It's going to just start.
Yeah,
it's going to get to a point to where it can't contain itself, and my leg's just going to pop off. Truly had that thought.
So we're talking like your whole foot now, so you have to go in.
So then I'm on the ground screaming, and my buddy's like, I think you gotta go to the doctor. I was like, no fucking shit, Eli. Like, what gave that away? Like, I'm screaming on the ground. I have a second foot growing on my foot. And so I go to the doctor, and he's like, yeah, it looks like a bomb went off in there. He's like, you can let it chill and heal, and you'll have an arthritic ankle. There's my ankle that for the rest of your life. Or I can put your ankle back together because you broke all the...
Why was that the option?
He said you didn't break it. You shattered it. So the ligaments and tendons were just all done, all over the place. He fucking put it back together, and I got referred from a friend. He's like the basketball. He does all the basketball guys. So this guy I was hopefully trusting. Although I can't remember his name, and I know I'm one to say the full name on air, but he definitely his bedside manner a few times was like. It's so funny even when like dentists or doctors have off days, or even like a hairstylist, and they'll give you a little toot. You're like, hey. I'm here to pay you to fucking help me. And so far, you're 0 for 1. I once went to Floyd's. I'll never go back. I've said this publicly.
Oh, Floyd's fucked my hair up too.
Oh, the woman yanked my head back, and then I got up and walked over after the haircut. Was the worst haircut of my life. I put my hat back on. I go over to the gal checking out, and I go, hey, just so you know, I'm going to pay for this haircut because I'm a stand-up guy. But this was the worst experience I've ever had with a human holding scissors at a place called Floyd's. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I go, yeah, not on you, on her. I go, all good. I go, maybe it wasn't her day to be at work. And that's on her for not recognizing that and showing up anyway. I know she needed the money. We all do. But sometimes you just got to fucking look in the mirror and go, I got to stay home. I'm not going to add to outside.
No.
And so she goes, it doesn't look that bad. I take off my hat, and she literally goes like this. Ooh. And I go, bah! And she goes, okay. And she goes, you don't have to pay for it. I go, no, I'm going to pay for it. I'm even going to tip. And then, and then I go online. I made a little video. This is when MySpace was still clicking and ticking, and I put it the video just up on YouTube. I get a message from the Floyd's corporate office because it kind of circulated because I tried to make it funny, but also it was a fucked haircut.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked like Right Said Fred fucked Sonic the Hedgehog. It was
askew. It was not good.
It was not good. And she shaved the sides really short, and it was like, and my hair was long like it is now, but so she really did a number on it. And the Floyd's people were like, we'd like to offer you like 50 free haircuts. I go, no, that's the problem. Yeah. If I got an STD from a stripper, I wouldn't go back and be like, what else you got? So the damage has been done.
Any other ones?
You got any other new ones?
Syphilis is cool, but I'm looking for something new. I'm looking for one that can really last.
Any DUIs, any WNBAs, yeah. So,
any WD-40s?
WD-40s.
Hey.
Yeah. So that was a wrap on that, but okay, so ankle broke, put it back together.
So how long was the healing process for this?
About 8 weeks.
Okay.
6 on crutches, not that bad. What else? Are we looking for so not just broken bones?
Yeah, we're talking about ailments like surgeries or like.
God, I've had pink eye. That sucks.
Pink eyes because you fucking stop wiping shit in your eyeball.
No, from the other stuff.
Other stuff? Vagina?
No, from. I think.
What's the other stuff?
From eating booty.
Oh, eating butt. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, it's caca.
Which, by the way, I believe I've only done it twice.
And you got pink eye both times.
Well, one time, and it was the first time.
Why was your?
By the way, it was
eyeball that close. How are you eating?
It was in the dark. I was very drunk.
Okay.
And then, by the way, this was like the first time we hooked up, and she just was like right away, like, it's time, and I was like.
All right, give me a second.
Let me stretch. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot.
That's ballsy of her to do that because I need to make sure my anus is pristine.
It was fine. Yeah,
Okay. It's not the shower thing.
There's an easy way to tell if it's not up to
you can
standards.
smell shit.
Right away.
You smell caca.
I think regardless you do, because it's a butt.
Regardless, will you clean your ass or you whatever happens to your asshole, poo always comes out of your asshole.
Oh, there, I cut some off my dog Pickles today. She
Oh,
left a
little nugs.
Hopped on the couch, got poo on the couch.
Susan does it all
And then
the
I
time.
hit her up. She felt so bad too, and cut it off. Then took her in the shower and
Took your dog in the shower, and then you ate her ass, and you're like, I gotta make sure it's clean.
Although sometimes the way that Pickles, does Susan do this too? Does she eat herself out to where you're just like if she's doing it in public, like licking herself? I'm like, Pickles, fucking stop.
No, I have to stop her. She doesn't stop, and she's loud and violent with it.
Oh,
no, she's got.
Well, yeah,
she
you
loves
got to
her
get a
pussy.
handle on that. But it's always like Pickles will look up, being like, but it's so good.
No,
like,
I know.
You know, you do it if you could reach yours.
Yeah. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, touche.
Susan has like a really, really large butthole for a dog. Like I'm talking the top of the.
Now, how do you know that?
I look at every
Googled
dog's asshole that I see.
Normal sized dog butthole.
I've had dogs. My parents have a Flacco retriever. We've had
And she's
Goldens
tiny.
before.
Oh,
no, she's big,
she's a
but
big one.
her butthole just it's too big for her body.
Yeah.
It's a big anus.
Damn it.
So she sometimes hits some turds, and I don't know if your dog has this because Susan has long hair, and because I guess she like licks with my hair, that the hair gets stuck, so you get like that turd where she can't get it out. So I have to reach in with a bag on my hand. I'm not reaching in my dog's bare asshole.
Do you always pick up the poo?
I always pick up the shit unless it's wild diarrhea.
Yeah.
We can't be picking up diarrhea.
Wild diarrhea. That is an animated show that will never get made.
Wild diarrhea.
It also sounds like a water park that just couldn't get off the ground. And they were like, the guy who wanted the name of that was the guy who was, providing all the money. He was like, come on, it's funny. Because like diarrhea, nobody would want to go there.
And there's like,
but it's wild. So it's like wild. Because we had wild waves growing up where I went.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also got wild diarrhea from going to wild waves.
Oh, kids were definitely... I mean, like we said, picking up, all sorts of
diseases
in the public waters.
Speaking of cartoons, the other day at the store, I had a very funny. I wish I taped my set. Didn't. Very angry. Some woman. I asked about her husband's dick, and she's like, "Yeah, it's just a husband dick." I'm like, "What is husband dick?" And then I just thought of a really hilarious cartoon of like. Just a penis that's just like a dad that's just like sitting in a recliner. He's
Very
just
funny.
always like,
is his name
like
Richard?
Stretching. He's got to be Richard. Of course, it's got to be Dick. Dick husband. And then I was like, who would make this? If there's anybody out there who wants to make a cartoon solely based on a penis being a husband, I mean.
By the way, if you've had Alf,
family.
if you had aliens living with families, Family Guy has talking dogs. Like there's
got to be a Dick husband.
Now, is it?
I feel like he's wearing.
Does he do? Is he truly? He just is a dick, or does he have like?
No, he's just a penis with like a wife beater with some stains and like some high up cargo shorts. Just in that recliner with that, like how some recliners, the guys, the armrests are like so worn down because they've just been soiling there for years.
I'm on board with this.
I know you are.
Pitch it to Burr. Pitch it to your boy Billy Burr.
You can play the voice of the dick.
The dad. Oh my
you
god.
Got it. You're Dick. You're a husband dick.
I've auditioned for a lot of animated dads, but then they go way famous.
I do not book anything voice related ever, unless people ask me to do it. So I have 2 coming up this week. Very excited because I don't. People always say, "Want to do a cartoon?" I'm like, I am trying, but it's only people go, "Hey, do you want to do this role?" I go, "Yes."
Well, your voice as is great, but then like you were telling me, you did like the PE teacher, right? That was more like.
I know I did that. The crossing guard.
Yeah,
I did that.
crossing guard.
The crossing guard. They hired me back for another role.
Great.
I'm like, yeah.
But like that's easy to do. That voice, that aggressive, like jokey.
It's me, just a bit more aggressive.
But your regular speaking voice is great. Like that's that could be sister, that could be daughter, mom, that could be fun.
Shit.
Yeah.
Can't book shit.
But also you're just getting going.
I'm just getting going
in that department of this business.
It's
just like anything. Like people got to get used to hearing your voice and knowing that you're out and about and getting sent stuff and then going. Just
we're trying. Yeah, we're trying here. Okay, let's get on to the next. Oh yeah, next segment.
Well, wait. Let me think real quick.
Okay, do you have more
Well, I mean,
rashes.
I don't think I've had it. I haven't had any STDs.
Wow, I mean, you're good now.
Yeah, I think so.
You passed it, unless
she hasn't been checked up. So,
I feel like you know by now, but you're gonna find out when the old this and this come out day of the, and then she's like, also, I have HIV. You're like, okay, well, we're learning a lot today.
This feels like a dinner conversation. Let's see.
Go to Morton's. Over some steak.
Broken bones. What else do people? What's a popular
People have, I mean, some people have like really big issues, like they've been hospitalized for things.
Oh, epiglottitis. I had a thing called I almost died. I was my senior.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, this. See, this is exactly what I did one with Pink Fox, and she did this like story about her thumb getting cut, and she's like, yeah, I guess that's it. And she's like, oh yeah, my dad shot himself in the eye, and he no longer has an eyeball. I went, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Open with that, yeah.
Yeah.
So senior year of college, 2005 at SC out here. I, wake up. The night before, I just felt my throat's getting really tight. It was tough to swallow. I felt like I was swallowing over a softball. It was really gnarly. I'm like, fuck it. My roommate who dealt pot was like, here, just smoke through it. He's like, we smoke through my problems. I'm like, yep. That's why you're just sitting here. So I smoke, gets a little tighter. Then I was like, I'll be fine. It's just probably just, it's getting sick. Wake up next morning very early, like 6, and I'm like, I can't sleep anymore. And I'd gone to bed at like 2, and I just go to the health center and pound on the door. I was like, you guys got to give me something. They open up early, and they gave me penicillin and some other stuff. That didn't do shit. I went home. I called my friend who we had to do our final acting scene for acting class that day, and I was like, I don't think I can make it today. She's like, you sound horrible. She goes, I'm coming to get you taken to my doctor in Beverly Hills, my ear, nose, and throat doctor, who is now my ear, nose, and throat doctor, who is the guy who sees, like, from John Mayer to fucking Bieber, Boyz II Men, Seth MacFarlane,
wow, he's
a guy. And she takes me out there, and I'm like, oh, really? She's like, you sound awful. I was like, yeah, it really fucking hurts. So they do a scope. They put this thing up my nose, the camera down my throat, and the doctor goes, oh, boy. And I was like, what? He goes, we got to get you to the ER ASAP. He's like, your air passageway is closing up. I go, what?
Huh?
He shows me on a thing. It's like that. Wait, see that? And then like that much is covered. So like that much of my air passageway
is
open to breathe.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit. He's like, yeah, let's go. So they admit me about 6 days, hooked me up with all sorts of shit, and didn't call my mom until like the next day, because then she still came down that day. Freaked the fuck out.
Your throat was closing up.
Yeah, it was gnarly. And I didn't feel, I was definitely like, and my friend, God bless, who saved my life, because I was like, what happened if I just didn't call her and stayed in my apartment? And the doctor goes, oh, you were suffocated in your apartment. I go, holy shit.
And that's it.
How does it happen? Fucking imagine? That's why I try to, Brian Simpson, great comic, great dude, said this to me maybe about 2 months ago at the store, and he was just like, it came up, and I was even having kind of like a little off day, but got to the store and was just, excited to do my spot and see people. And he's like, man, you're just always in such a fucking peppy, upbeat mood. It's always good to see you, man. You're always just, feeling good and whatever. I was like, I did not have a sweet day, but like, I don't know. Look what we get to do. Like, look who's here. This is fucking, and things like that, especially that, are not too far in the back of my brain to where I'm like, oh, that
could have happened.
So easily could have been a rap. Because I remember also wavering on the idea of even calling her, because I was like, I don't want to bug her. I was like, I'll just like text her, or I'll like not show up to class and tell my roommate to tell her, because he's also in our program, to tell her. But I did, and she took it upon her. You know what I'm saying? So crazy. And then got better, and then got it a second time, because it's very rare. It's
so
like
what is it? Like, it just comes out of nowhere.
It's a random virus that attacks your epiglottis, and then it makes your air passageway. It's a bacteria, and just swell up and cover up your air passageway.
Fuck
gnarly.
off.
The amount of like, the human body's great. 2 dick holes. Do you come or you pee? Like, what's going on? Like, but then it also like fucking just can turn on you.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Oh, I'm allergic to, I found out in like whatever fucking year it was, like 7 years ago. I'm allergic to running. I was out for a jog in Toronto. All of a sudden, I'm like, I can't see it in my fucking right eye. I look in like a rearview mirror, swollen shut. And I'm like, All of a sudden, I'm like,
how does that work?
It's called allergies induced by exercise. It's a real thing. So I have to take a pill before I go for a run now, like an allergy pill. But my throat was closing up. I had to rush to the hospital. I was like, oh, and there, I looked in the mirror. I was like, I'm like, and that's the scariest thing, because you're like, you can't stop that. Like, if there's bleeding, you can stop bleeding.
Yeah.
If there's like other aches, you can stop them. This is like, oh, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
You can't stop suffocating.
No, that's it.
Do you think I would have suffocated funny, or would have been like, would I be like, or would I just...
You still went out doing a joke. You're like, da.
Josh is da. Also, who would I have called and been like, that's so terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Also, we had this guy who lived above us in this duplex named Blake, shaved head, goatee. He talked like this. He was like 6'6", and he always wore turtlenecks, and he'd be in our like living room playing our PlayStation at like 7 a.m. and we'd walk in and be like, Blake, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I was just gonna get a quick game in before school. And we're like, fucking knock. Or so there was stairs from his top thing to the door would enter our kitchen into our place. You know what I'm saying? And then the front, and then on the if you went straight through the kitchen, there was a front door out that he would go out of. So we would leave our door open, but he'd start coming into our place just because he thought it was a communal. No, man, our kitchen's our kitchen. That's the upstairs is where you live.
Yeah, no,
this is where we live.
Yeah,
There was 4 of us down there. So we tied PlayStation controllers one night. We all got real high and tied them around the doors. And then we hear him coming down the stairs. And then we just hear, bah, 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 and the door's shaking. Him trying to get in. And we were all just sitting there like it was waiting for the T-Rex to fucking show up. And then he went back upstairs. And then we just hear, hey, guys, can you take the controllers off the door? I want to come chill. And then I woke up one morning. And he was in my bathroom taking the Listerine wrapper off the Listerine bottle. And I'm like, my bed's right here. And I like open the bathroom door. It was right there. And he was in there. And I go, Blake, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, oh, I was trying to take your Listerine cap wrapper because if you collect 8, you get a free bottle of Listerine. I go, it's 8 a.m.
No, this is psychotic.
Get the fuck out of here. And he goes like, oh, I'll come back at like 10. I go, don't come back.
Don't Blake.
And then he fucking shaved his head in our toilet, and then he burned his like grocery store receipts in the parking lot. So all of a sudden one day there was just a fire. Like
this guy's unwell.
So anyway, so that was the guy that probably would have found me. So can you imagine? I'm like, He was like, is it cool if I get one more game of Crash Bandicoot in? Do you want to play too? You can play. That's fine. He just doesn't pick up
also,
on it.
Crash Bandicoot would have been the last thing you heard. Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Don't take my Listerine.
Oh, Blake, where are you now? Where's that go to?
I would love to know. We need to do a VH1's Where Are They Now? Crazy Roommates.
Oh, yeah. There's
I got so many.
There's a lot.
Surprised I actually don't start a second podcast called Crazy Roommates.
You would need to.
Opening the first, I go first 4 episodes, I'll fill up.
Alone? Oh, yeah,
I'll fill up. But then here's the thing. It's like you'd want to.
You should start this. Everybody has had a Crazy Roommate.
That's what I'm saying. Is there a podcast like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't listen to podcasts.
You got to do it with me.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll
be the sidekick. I'll be Blake.
But then well, that's the thing is like then we eventually track them down and call them. So you got to out them on all their bullshit. That's the hook. You can't just talk about it.
No.
Because then it could be made up.
You can get them.
You know, sometimes you hear say something and you're like, that guy's not a real guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to get these real people. Yeah.
You mean guy who's giving me the absolute worst intro at the Comedy Store?
Love you. No, clip the other day, he was like, we had this guy named Bennett. I was like, not real. I can tell from the way you're talking about him, not a real guy. And so, but when you have that, what was the intro?
I don't know this girl. I've never seen her.
No.
This is the day before filming the Netflix special. I was running my 7 minutes at the store in the OR.
Great.
I don't know her. I guess she's funny because she's passed here, but again, I've never seen her. The crowd's like, who cares?
Yeah, totally.
Big whoop.
Suck it up.
And
it's not about you right now.
What does
now
it
it's about
matter?
her. Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
You got to just power through. I mean, look.
I can't wait to intro him, though.
What are you going to do?
Salivating.
Wait, now you're going to go the opposite way and go, I've seen him.
Oh, I'm going to go, I've never heard of this guy.
You got to. And now then the ball's in his court to laugh it off.
No, he will.
To laugh it off or to hold a grudge?
He'll hold a grudge, probably. I mean,
Andrew Dice Clay, I've said this before, but he had to bring me up when Jeff Scott was over on the Keys. You never got to meet Jeff Scott, did you?
No, I didn't.
R.I.P., the greatest. And he... And Dice Clay goes, all right, Jeff, who's next? And he goes, Adam Ray. And he goes, I love this guy. So he doesn't know me. So right away, just powering through. But here's my example of him just, the point is he's trying to just give a good intro regardless. He goes, this next guy you're going to love. He's one of the staples of stand-up comedy.
This is the nicest
Been around for years. Been doing it on every show and every movie you've ever seen. Give it up for Alan Bray. And I start laughing. I walk up. He gave me a fucking fist bump with a smile. And it was like, but even just the attempt at an intro.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's just what you do. Here's the thing. We all work at the same place.
What you do now.
We're all making the same amount of money in the OR, so I don't act like whatever.
Just do it.
Okay, we got to get to some segments here.
Do it,
we have
please.
a couple minutes left here.
Oh, shit, please.
Yes. I just want to hear the worst body thing you've ever heard.
Well,
that's haunted you.
That I've heard. So I asked my dad because my dad was a cardiovascular surgeon for like 35, 40 years.
Oh.
Then moved on to working on an island called Kwajalein and then Midway Island, and then was working for the VA for the last 20 years and just retired. And he's great doc, was just the best. Bedside manner on point, hand-eye coordination with the open heart surgeries, crushed it, and just a great doc. But he's told me some stories over the years, and he told me one, and I asked him last night, I go, Dad, what was that one? It's one of the craziest stories I've heard from him.
All right,
and so he sent me a voice note. And
we love a voice note.
Yeah, even better.
Okay, we love this.
The way he ends it is very funny.
Okay.
Here we go. His name's Lance.
Do you want to plug it in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, does this work? Is this the pluggy thing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We love a plug-in.
Okay, great. Here we go.
Sure, the weirdest one was actually took place, like you said, it was on Kwajalein, and the
South
guy
Pacific.
was a temporary worker on Kwajalein, and he came into the emergency room one day and said that he had a vibrator stuck up his ass.
You got it.
And so I did a rectal exam on him, and I could just feel the switch on the vibrator, and I could flip it on and off, but I couldn't get a hold of it to pull it out. So I had to do a small surgery to push it down from above, and then I got it down to the point where I could reach it from below and pull it out.
Wait for it.
Does that help?
Love you, Dad.
Oh, my
Lance
God.
for the win. Crazy story.
Wow.
Let's break that down.
Wow, let's break
Vibrator
that
up the
down.
butt. What's that doing there?
Well, we know what it's doing there. Also, that's a normal thing to be up the butt.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I literally just did a show in San Fran, and there's 4 people in the ER in the front row, and I was asking them, what's the crazy shit up there? One person said a hairbrush. The other one said an eggplant. And I'm like,
God, what are
this is
just when you think the
eggplant's too
human
much.
species is like coming up like we invented the electric car, but we're still putting fucking hand brushes up our butt.
It's also, I asked if it was the round hairbrush. No. The one with the flat, like the old, and I'm like, was the hair still in? It's like, no, the hair was out. I'm like, why was that like that was like, whoa. I'm taking the hair out before I fuck my ass with the brush.
This is what I'm talking about.
That's crazy. So like the
we're constantly
vibrator-
taking 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back. Paul Abdul wrote that song about the American people. Look, we're inventing fucking Play-Doh and George Foreman grills and fucking Uber. And then we're like, hey, do you think this eggplant can fit my asshole?
Like, picture
Let's
a
cook our
big-
chicken in NyQuil.
Big eggplant.
How big?
Like the ones that have like the big bulbous ends, like he said it was like this big, like this, and like
God.
but also because once it goes in, I think the butthole sucks things up.
Yeah.
So once it goes in a certain point, it goes, and that's it. It's in there. So what I want to know what the surgery was to get it pushed down. He went in from up above.
I think on the stomach, yeah, and then pushed it down and then took it back out the butt.
Oh, I love the way he could turn it on and off, so like it was still
That was
like
that was the interesting part. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
remembered
yeah.
about that story.
God.
Because I was like, because I don't think he was just playing with it, being like, hey, can you feel that?
Yeah.
One last go around before I take it
Good
out.
batteries, actually. Where are these from? Are these Energizer? Yeah. That's
Long
crazy.
lasting, yeah. But I think, and he said that those types of stories were like pretty consistent.
Of course. He must have like constantly taking shit out of butts.
How many people do you think daily are going in? How many people do you think right now? Because you know how they say
Yeah.
like every
There's-
15 seconds,
Somebody else.
someone's getting hit by a car, and you're like,
God.
this is fucking Looney Tunes.
I
These are
think-
weird ads to put in between.
I'd say right now across the world,
How many people a day are walking into an urgent care, an ER, or just a regular clinic?
I'd say 1,000 minimum.
Wow.
I would say minimum. The amount of people that put stuff in their ass, minimum 1,000.
Guess what? That feels like not enough.
I think it's more. Picture every hospital right now. There's
Doing it.
probably one person in there with something in their ass.
That's
there
a
was
fun game
one-
to play in the waiting room. You're
Oh.
all looking around at each other.
Who's got something? Do I hear something
You
even
got
worse?
COVID? Like, yeah, you could say that.
The Sklar brothers, they do a thing where they read like on their podcast, they read like weird stories.
Yeah, dumb people down.
Definitely them.
Yeah.
There was one.
Oh, no.
A woman had stomach issues. Her tummy was hurting for a while. She goes in, rocks glass in her bladder. She had forgotten she put a rocks glass in her urethra, in her pee-pee hole.
Wait, what is a rocks glass? Like a crystal?
Like a glass from a drink, a cocktail glass.
Oh.
A cocktail glass in her piss hole. I don't know if men realize this. We also have tiny pee holes. We don't have, it's not a gaping hole that you can just put things in there. It's not a second purse. I don't put my fucking lipstick and my keys in my urethra when I leave my house. Like, it's psychotic.
Maybe somebody there, like, she asked me, like, what's anal? And they go, well, so you put the old cock in the tail, if you catch my drift. And she goes, got it. Cocktail glass. No.
Crazy. It was in there for so long, it started crystallizing.
Oh.
No, it's bad. Oh, that's what got you. Not the putting the rocks glass in the peel. The crystallizing. Ooh, that must have been sour down there. That's a nightmare. Crystallize. It's like I can't even. Sometimes after I have sex, my pee hole gets like irritated, and I'm like, like it hurts to even like piss. That's crazy.
I don't know where in my life I'll have to be where I'm just like, I wonder if I could get up there.
Nothing ever.
Never ever.
No. Okay, we gotta wrap this.
All right.
We gotta rapidy-roo. Let's plug your stuff.
Great.
Let's.
Find me at Adam Ray Comedy on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. AdamRayComedy.com for tour dates. A bunch I'm about to announce for 2023, and quite a few left still in 2022. Young Rock comes back, season 3, November 4th on NBC. Welcome to Chippendales, Hulu, November 22nd. And then I'm in this movie that just came out called The School for Good and Evil on Netflix
great.
right now. And
This
then the
is great.
podcast about last night. Check out Steph's episodes.
Very fun.
They're legendary already.
Wait, where's this cool coat you're wearing from?
This is from my buddy's clothing company, Sweat Taylor. That's at Sweat Taylor for all your finest men's needs. Cool, calm, collective, casual. Sweat Taylor. Do it.
not
the
mix
slogan.
that with. I was like, that seems like it's a lot.
Very light. It's
Good
a light
though.
jacket because
Nice
it's kind of
coat.
toasty in here, but I feel good.
Nice coat. Nice coat. Thank you for doing this.
A blast.
It always is, and I'll see you around the store.
Congrats on the new relationship.
The new residency here. Yeah.
I also haven't seen you since the Burr show,
Oh.
but we chatted about it.
Yeah, we chatted about it. Oh, yeah, it was very fun. Yeah, check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah, check it out. Follow me at Steph Tolev. Follow at Steph Infection Podcast. And should sound like the best podcast I've ever released because
This was great.
it's crisp.
A blast.
Audio.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya. Is that how you?